Big, beautiful Gaza peace plan. I was actually batting back and forth whether or not to even talk about this. I'm a little superstitious when it comes to things. Is the old saying for athletes: you never, touch the money. Um, I everybody should be hoping and praying at this point in time that this thing this thing goes through. Um, right now, the Israeli military, said a Friday ceasefire went into effect. Looking like the hostages, God willing, will come back and humanitarian aid will come into the territory as well. Israeli troops withdrew from parts of the Gaza Strip as part of the ceasefire deal. Israeli and Arab officials, again, are right now. It looks like everything is going as planned. Again, the reason why I'm not here to be the slightest bit glass is half empty type of guy. Okay, I'm really not. I really am hoping and praying that this would come through. Like I said, I remember vividly watching. I was on my honeymoon, for crying out loud, watching the process supposedly come together, then fall apart. This was when Bill Clinton was president, and Arafat walking away from the entire thing. You have to give Donald Trump a hell of a lot of credit on this. You really do. I'm sure, many on the left are going to poo-poo it, but he's doing something extraordinary. And again, Bill Clinton himself said, it's just the greatest disappointment and failure of his presidency of not, getting this done. This goes forward. This, without a doubt, is, we mark him down as one of the greats when it comes to diplomacy. And it's interesting. It's interesting. We have all of these, they call top men, experts. They parade them on TV, talking about the conflict in all of these different ways, all of their degrees, and they go from one administration to the next administration, and they're experts, and they got the Atlantic Council, and they go to all of these meetings, and they really they don't have any vision. It's like they need the conflicts. They need the conflicts to just keep going in order to keep themselves employed in a job, so they can continue to be experts. Yeah, that word expert, we throw it around all the time. What makes you a frickin' expert? All of these foreign policy, this expert, that what qualifies you as being an expert? To me, you're an expert if you actually can get something done. You can actually get something accomplished. Use a sports thing. Michael Jordan's a bit of an expert when it comes to basketball. Yeah. You can look to various different fields. What's funny is actually we have more experts doing sports commentary than we do actually with political commentary. All we have is one failed expert after another, even with the military experts that they bring on a regular basis, served here, and they, when was the last time we won anything? Anyway, putting that aside, Donald Trump did something, and Peggy Noonan actually pointed this out today in her column. Go back to when Netanyahu was in the White House. Netanyahu was in the White House with Donald Trump, and Donald Trump gave that rant, and he was in full real estate developer mode, talking about, right there, all this beachfront property, and the weather's perfect there. And he gave an alternative look at what it could be. He basically presented something, a complete contrast of what it could be. You remember Netanyahu's face when he was talking about that? And Trump Tower. I think he tweeted out a picture of like a Trump Tower in Gaza. Completely changing from what it is to what it could be. That's vision. Okay. And I give the president full credit for that. And he's good at that. He's good at that. And I wish he would just stick to that. Now I go back to that story, New York City, with the Wollman Rink in Central Park, and how the city government couldn't fix that. There were cost overruns, couldn't do it. Again, he took the thing over. Again, it was great publicity stunt for himself. It was fantastic, but it wasn't a stunt. He went out. He got found out what was the best, who had the best ice in all of the NHL. And I guess he brought in the people, the true experts, people that have actually gotten it done. He brought in the true experts. He brought in the people that do the ice for I think it was the Montreal Canadiens. Put the thing together, did it himself. Again, the city was fighting him. They didn't want him to do it because, again, it was showing that, the private sector can do a better job. Again, brilliant to make, basically change the narrative, change the picture. Again, excuse my enthusiasm here because I hate to see, what has been taking place, what has been transpiring there. And, when you kind of put yourself in the feet of people that actually, have hope now, who haven't had hope for a long time. Again, families that are going to maybe get their loved ones back, the remains of their loved ones back. Again, whatever, October 7th, the absolute horrific tragedy that was. And then, you get the other side of the equation as well. People that have been, starving and living in squalor and all of, it's a disaster. We want it to end. And it kind of put yourself in their shoes and see that you can almost feel the hope that they're feeling at this point in time. God willing, we see this thing through. God willing, there isn't some bad actor that is going to go out of their way to mess up the process. And I don't want to be glass is half empty. Okay. Want to be hopeful with this. And we all should say a prayer or two and hope that, again, then maybe, just maybe, we can visit the Trump Hotel Gaza resort in the future. WatchDog on Wall Street.com.